PCN is brought to you in part by the following underwriters.
Happy New Year from all of us at PACTV Community News. We like to take this week to look back at some of our biggest YouTube hits from 2015. We have them in order of total number of hits and we'll play them back to back. We hope you enjoy this look back through PCN's year. If you have story ideas for the new year, email me, kim@pactv.org, or fill out a story submission form at our website. We want to tell your story of the people, places, and events on the South Shore. Find us on YouTube and follow us on social media for updates and links.
March is a very busy time around Dunleavy-Schaefer, and for all Irish dancing schools, we call it March Madness. It's our own version of March Madness. We do a lot of performances from nursing homes to larger scale. We're going to be performing with Ronan Tynan. He's one of the Irish tenors, and he'll be performing at Memorial Hall in Plymouth, and we'll be kicking off his performance. We have a group of 16 dancers that will be doing a original choreography just for that show, which they'll also be doing at the World Championships. So it should be a really fun event, and it's just a really busy time and lots of fun for all the kids at all levels.
One of the stories we often tell at St. Patrick's Day, we do a lot of performances, and the legends we like to share, that a fesh, which is that word for competition, was originally a Sunday afternoon festival. It would be after Mass. So historically, everyone would wear their Sunday best. The girls would have had their hair set that day, and that would be the one day of the week they'd end up with curly hair. So they had their curls, they had their best dress, they would get up and perform for the mayor or the earl or whoever was in charge of their town. And then awards were given out, and it really developed from there.
So some dancers at our school decide not to compete and just to do performances and shows and just come to class because they love dancing so much. And a lot of our dancers decide to go to local competitions, which we call a fesh, and they're held all around the region, all through Massachusetts, New York, Connecticut, all over the place. You could go to a fesh every day of the week if you really wanted to. And they eventually progress from step about, which is just the little tiny 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, to beginner, advanced beginner. And then they move up to different levels called novice and prize winner. And then they get into championships called preliminary and open championships. And then once they get through those levels, they can qualify to go to the regional championships, which is called the Oireachtas. That's an Irish word for championships. And then they qualify then to go to the nationals, which is North America, Canada, and the US and Mexico. And then from there, either the regionals or the nationals, they can qualify to go to the World Championships. And they're held every year around Easter time, either in Ireland, England, and for the last couple of years they've been held in North America as well. So this year they'll be in Montreal, Canada, and we have 11 dancers qualified to go to Worlds that will be competing at the World Championships. So we're very proud of all they've accomplished through all those levels of dance.
It's a great area for Irish step dancing because there's so many families with Irish heritage, and a lot of these families have ancestors that came over, moved to Boston ages ago. They often grew up in Dorchester and then have spread out further into the South Shore. So it's called the Irish Riviera, we joke about it. It's like something that the parents did, their grandparents did, and it's just part of their culture. So when a child is of a certain age, they think, okay, well, let's go sign up for Irish dance lessons.
Well, it was like a family thing, really. My grandmother, she really liked Irish step dancing and got me and my sisters into it, and I just fell in love with it ever since I was 4 years old and just kept going.
When I was younger, Irish dancing was not anywhere near as popular. But when River Dance and Lord of the Dance became popular, it was like every dance class doubled in size and everybody wanted to try it. And so that made it internationally known. That really, I think, changed the market everywhere in the world. And so Irish dancing was, competing with ballet and tap and all these other activities that kids across America will sign up for, whether they're Irish or not.
I compete, I'm in Open, which is like the highest level in competition.
You guys competed with girls from Ireland?
Yeah, all over the world.
Yeah. How many times have you been to the World Championships?
I've been to the World Championships twice. Once in Belfast and once in Boston. This is my third World Championships this year, and I've competed in 6 national championship competitions.
When you look at an Irish dancing solo dress, you're not going to look at it and think, yes, that looks Irish. It doesn't necessarily. But it did evolve from that Sunday best and including a lot of the Celtic knotwork and those traditions. And that's where the curly hair comes from too. So it was a tradition, and then the wigs became a part of it in the 90s. And when you're competing, if the girls from Ireland are wearing giant wigs with the big sparkly tiara, well then I better get a giant wig for my kids, because that's who we're up against. So we're really trying to imitate and do what they do so that we can compete at that level.
The problem with being a golfer here on the South Shore is that we have all 4 seasons, and the cold ones seem to last longer than the warm ones. Local entrepreneurs Dave Laney and Julie Obregon decided to do something about it. By opening the iGolf Virtual Golf Center in Pembroke, they've created an oasis for the weather-weary New England golfer.
When David approached me with this business model, I was a little reluctant because I'm not a big golfer, but we put it together and it's really going well. I've actually been golfing in the bays myself, and it's a lot of fun. You don't even have to know how to golf.
For Dave Laney, Pembroke was a perfect fit for this business venture.
What we liked about Pembroke is we're located right off the highway, and there's a good sense of community here. And when we started talking to the town about the business, they were really excited about us coming here. You know, they were looking forward to this type of business coming to the town. And talking to the local people, you know, they were excited about it too. We kept hearing, you know, we need a place like this. So it was good to come to a community that welcomed us.
Tucked away in an office park off of Corporate Park Drive, people are often surprised at the size of the facility when they step inside and see the 4,000 square foot indoor golf center.
We have 5 simulator bays where you can golf. You actually use rail golf clubs and golf balls. In each bay, we have countertops, we have seating, bag racks, coat racks. Each bay has its own television. We have the top of the line HD simulators right now.
Not to mention a putting green, a licensed bar for when you're done walking the 18 virtual holes, and of course a disco ball for when you want to take off the golf spikes and put on your dancing shoes.
Everything in this facility is brand new from the ground up.
Well, what got us started on this project was, you know, we love to golf. Everybody loves to golf. A business like this gives people the opportunity of different levels to come and play together. And not just for adults, but also for kids too. You know, it's nice to have a place where parents can drop off their kids, do something productive, and enjoy themselves and feel safe.
And to shake off the winter rust, you can take some practice swings in one of the bays with a pro.
It's frustrating for golfers to practice all summer long, and then the winter season comes and you can no longer play again. So when the springtime and summer rolls around, you're spending that time, you know, getting your swing back. It's like you're learning to play all over again. So now, you know, we have the opportunity to keep getting better all winter long.
In the practice bay, the system actually photographs you and you can play it back to see what you did right, or in my case, everything that you did wrong. You know what's funny is it actually gets worse each time. With swings like those, thank goodness for the 19th hole. Keep them coming. Reporting from Pembroke, I'm Brian Sullivan, PACTV Community News.
Who doesn't love a neighborhood bar where everybody truly does know your name? But combine that with Italian cuisine, affordable chef specialties, and decadent desserts. Welcome to Christina's of Pembroke.
Yeah.
hanging out here at the bar with my new friend Rose, and we're going to try some of these incredibly looking appetizers. We have a calamari, we have a butternut squash ravioli, and we have a coconut scallop.
Yeah, very good.
Cranberries.
Very good.
They look incredible.
Yes.
A little caramel martini, and we are good to go. Now, Rose, tell me, what is your favorite thing about Christina's?
The people here, can you tell?
I can. Everybody gets along, everybody's talking, everybody's been laughing the entire night in the bar. This is incredible.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think I'm going to leave you to share these appetizers with the rest of your friends, and I'm going to head into the dining room to have dinner with John.
Oh, all right, that's great.
Enjoy the rest of the night, Rose.
Thank you very much, Don. Yeah.
John, they're still having a ball back there at the bar.
And it's just the beginning of the night, can you believe it?
And this is just the beginning of our meal. This looks incredible. What do we have here?
You. Well, we have our lamb chops with a demi-glace and cherries. We have our chef special, which is the Lazy Man lobster. And here's our classic Frog Diablo. Everything that we prepare is fresh. We have a scratch kitchen, and that means that from your dessert to your salads to your entrees, fresh as fresh can be. It's like being at home, but you don't have to worry about cooking it yourself.
Now tell me, how long has Christina's been here in Pembroke?
We have been at this location for 9 years. Christina has been in business for 45 years. So she has honed her skills to make everybody enjoy, or help everybody enjoy their dining experience here.
And I understand she really grew up in the industry with her family cooking from the time she was a very small girl.
Most definitely. She learned from her mother, her grandmother, and has brought it to us. So we're very fortunate.
So a home away from home.
Exactly.
Now I hear a rumor that Christina's is also known for some unbelievably decadent desserts.
Each by scratch, and she is here very early in the morning making the day's desserts. And I believe she has some ready for you in the kitchen.
Well, on that note, I think we shall toast to a wonderful meal at Christina's.
Thank you.
It's time for some dessert.
Wonderful. Enjoy.
Thank you. Okay, I am here with Christina's namesake, Christine, who is the owner and dessert chef here at Christina's. And you are absolutely known for some amazing desserts. Tell me what you're making today.
Today we're doing churros with a house-made dark chocolate ice cream and a chocolate dipping sauce. Secondly, we have Elvis pies. And the Elvis pies are a chocolate crust with peanut butter mousse, chocolate ganache, bananas, and whipped cream.
That's incredible.
And we have Boston cream pie.
And Christine, as you're prepping these desserts for us, tell me a little bit about how did you learn to be such an amazing dessert chef?
My mother used to be a baker, and I was always with her, knee-high, and she was always in the pantry baking things. Actually, she used to bake for the original hitching post in Hanson, back when it really was a hitching post.
But I understand you have customers who come specifically for the desserts, or will come in for dessert first and dinner afterwards.
That is very true. Some of them we call up ahead of time and say, today we have Boston cream pie, as an example. That seems to be something that they really love.
Well, your entire restaurant is a family.
You know, it really is, and I know that it's probably something everybody in the restaurant business says, you know, but it really is so true here.
Now, what do you hope people take away from their time here in your restaurant? What do you want customers to experience when they're here with you and your staff?
You know, I have a feeling that there's probably a whole generation of kids or a whole generation of people who don't know what scratch cooking is. And our restaurant is a scratch kitchen from start to finish. And I don't think most people get subjected to that anymore. I think everything is, pre-frozen, pre-packaged, microwaved.
That is beautiful. Christine, we would like to thank you so much, you and your entire staff, for having us here today. Everything has been amazing. We've enjoyed every minute. So if you are interested in classic Italian cuisine or decadent desserts, Christina's in Pembroke has something for everyone. For PACTV Community News and Local Eats, I'm Donna Rodriguez.
In the days leading up to the New Year's Eve celebration, it was very evident that something big was going on at Memorial Hall. Something quite magnificent. Ice sculptures, candelabra, and red carpets. As it turned out, the Jeff Cohen Foundation teamed up with To The Max Events to put on the Party of the Century, all to benefit the Plymouth 400. PCN met up with the co-chairs to ask, why a masquerade?
Well, we wanted something unique and different that the town hasn't really seen before.
Why not a masquerade?
Nobody likes to go out on New Year's Eve. Everybody likes to stay home and do home parties, so unless you give them a really good reason to go out, they're going to stay home. Max has co-chaired a lot of events with me prior, a lot of them on the Boys and Girls Club. I do a Halloween party every year, and we wanted to do a really big New Year's Eve event, and we picked what we thought around town needed the most attention and the most help financially. And Plymouth 400 being so new, they need a good signature event, so we're doing a giant masquerade ball. This is the first of many. And this didn't just happen overnight. We've been planning this for 2 years, so this isn't a let's have a party next month kind of a deal. 2 years of work, 2 years of meetings every week. None of us are paid. We're all volunteers, so we're taking time every week to meet, sometimes over weekends. I mean, it was a lot of work to put into this, but it becomes, what's the word I'm looking for? It absorbs you. It gives you such a good sense of community and a good sense of fulfillment to do something like this. And to watch it all come together, it's the biggest high you can possibly have. It is like it is such a mental high to look around and see everybody coming and having fun and just the people stopping off today and the kids taking pictures in front of the ice and everybody was having a blast. That's what the town needs. We need stuff like this. We're a small community, but we really need to think bigger.
We also met up with the executive director of the Plymouth 400 to get her take on a masquerade in Plymouth.
Well, I think it's a first for Plymouth, certainly, and the Midnight Masquerade Committee has done an impeccable job, really, of putting this together. And I have to say, a big thank you to Jeff Cohen and to Coralie Burke. Coralie's stylings, if you will, or design, it just really makes the place, and Memorial Hall's so pretty anyway, that this is just really enhances it. And Jeff, this was Jeff's brainchild. We actually, I had a group of people over for Christmas, little Christmas party 2 years ago, and Jeff Cohen said to me, wouldn't it be cool to have a masquerade ball in Plymouth? And I didn't even work for the 400 at the time. Here we all are. I'm working for the 400. Jeff's doing his masquerade ball. It's really kind of cool. We really would like to grow this into a first night type of event where it's open to families earlier on in the evening, and there's fireworks, and we have such a great cultural community here, and we just became the 27th cultural district in Massachusetts, the Plymouth Bay Cultural District. So we can now use those cultural entities and bring them together to do some of the events leading up to the New Year's Eve.
According to Michelle, the future of this event has a radiant outlook. But it was no small task creating this year's standard-setting soiree. Coralie Burke led a team of committed volunteers.
Luckily, we had a great committee that came and pressed linens and did chair setup, and we did the centerpieces, and we swagged fabric, and I mean, the committee we had was awesome. They were so good, and they went above and beyond. And we had a big picture to fill in this hall, and I think they did a great job doing it.
Even after all this work, I did have one pressing question I just had to ask.
I have an incredibly important question to ask you. I have to ask, who are you wearing tonight?
I don't even want to tell you where I got this dress.
Just look at this. It's epic. I'm wearing a Max Original. I think that's good.
It was an extraordinary night without a single detail left out. A feat that one dynamic duo undertook to create an event Plymouth can brag about hosting year after year. It was such a magical event that even I could not resist going to the ball. Reporting from Plymouth's Memorial Hall, PCN Arts and Entertainment.
You know, ballroom dancing, can be romantic, it can be sexy, and it can be fun as a couple. So when we go out and we'll have dinner and then we'll go dancing. I mean, we agree that when we used to hate going to weddings, and now when we go to weddings, we dance during salad course because there's nobody on the dance floor. So
there's no one in the way.
It's great exercise, and I think it helps bring you closer together as a couple. So it's been a lot of fun for us, a great learning experience.
To me, ballroom dancing is it's a partnership. It's working on practicing in that partnership. The dance moves you have to hold in form, and you have to be able to read each other without using language. So it's emotion of partnership, which is interesting. And I think the other benefits is good exercise. Mm-hmm. So you get a good workout, so you get an exercise, and you're creating a stronger partnership not only with your loved one or whoever you're dancing with.
Right. You spend time with each other?
I get very passionate about it because I just love it. We love it as a couple. It's just so much fun, and we just wish everybody that we knew would try it and come in and try ballroom dancing. We wish we did it 10 years ago. We really did. Everybody's always too busy, but we just love it, and we just love everybody to be able to experience it. And I just get very, very passionate about it.
When you're learning the moves, the first part of learning the moves is it's very basic and fundamental. It's they'll teach you about the ball positioning, where you're kind of pretend holding a ball in front of you, and that's the learning how to communicate to each other without using words on your motions and steps. And as you get better and better at that, it becomes easier and more fluid, and it starts looking a lot better. So it's not so boxy; it's more fluid and rolling, and it becomes when you start looking at your progress, it's encouraging and motivational.
You have a lead and a follow, which is really important to do and learn. And the more and more you do it, the more and more you learn how to work together with that.
Well, I joke a lot about the partnership because I think it's one of the few places in the world where the man is the boss. The men lead and the ladies have to follow. So that's been a learning experience for both of us.
You gotta have good communication.
So I think it teaches you to communicate without talking. There is. It's all about the frame when you're ballroom dancing. So it's learning how to follow your partner without talking to each other. And I think that helps build the relationship, and it helps with communication too.
And it's romantic. It's wonderful to get out together and just enjoy it. We dance at least 3-4 times a week. We come here to the studio a lot, and we just really enjoy it. We've met a lot of really nice friends too, like a ballroom family, and
yeah,
it's been great.
And we've been dancing at Fred Astaire over 7 years. We've been with them since they opened here in Plymouth, and we would highly recommend it to anybody who's interested in learning how to dance.
And it would make a great Valentine present. I'm telling you, you'd be so lucky.
Yeah, it's really changed our lives, really has. Yeah. It's been tremendous.
You might not be imagining things if you think you hear the sound of hooves clopping as you make your way through downtown Plymouth. For the past 5 years, the Plymouth Police Department has been using a mounted patrol unit during the summer months. 2 officers are on horseback Friday nights from 4 in the afternoon until midnight. While the police still have a job to do and people to protect, the horses help serve as a great PR vehicle for the department.
Out here being visible, I think we deter crime quite a bit. But I think my favorite thing is public relations, being that we're much more approachable on horse. Kids come up to us and talk to us, even kids that wouldn't even talk to us in a cruiser. would come up and talk to us about the horse. So, in that aspect of it, that's what makes it really worthwhile.
The officers that do the downtown detail aren't rookies, but sometimes the horses are, as is the case with Sergeant Reed's horse.
John is a new horse. This is his first year. We got him in May, so he's actually progressing quite quickly, and we like his progression.
Duffy, on the other hand, has been with the force for 6 years.
They react differently. He's got a little bit more to him. He tends to observe more, needs to know what's going on around him. John's still learning, so he's just kind of focused on watching him. So it's great. It's great they can kind of calm each other down and watch and react with each other.
It's good to put a new horse with an older, more experienced horse.
For the most part, the mounted police unit serves as a lookout for activity, but that doesn't necessarily exclude them from having to make arrests. And if you are a lawbreaker, be aware that you've got a 10-foot-tall police unit galloping after you.
Primarily, we try to be visible and eyes and ears, so we'll call in ground teams to react to things that we see. But we can effect arrests on horseback, and we've done it in the past. People just get out of your way naturally. They hear us coming, and it's not even a problem. We go right through crowds where even vehicles have trouble.
In the end, this unit provides accessibility between the public and the police department.
The public just needs to know that we're out here for them, to be accessible, to ask questions. We're informative. It's a great venture. Sheriff McDonald has really made it a great adventure with a joint team with the police department, with Plymouth Police, and I think the public has really taken to it.
On the waterfront in downtown Plymouth, Brian Sullivan, PACTV Community News.
The corridor is really bright. We have the double helix effect going on in there, so the moment you walk down the hall, you know you're in the science wing before you get to the first classroom.
I was in charge of the redevelopment and the reconstruction of our science labs, and we went into this and we pulled this together very, very quickly, but we turned it into a little bit of a larger project beyond the science labs, and we've invested nearly $2 million in our new Science and Innovation Center.
The new science wing was opened in its entirety in November, and now Monday through Friday, each class is bustling with science activity. At the end of the hall around the corner, you'll find the brand new physics lab, equipped with 4 trusses on the ceilings. Although I didn't test the theory, each is said to be strong enough to hold an average human. But the plan is to use them for experiments, possibly showing the physics of a pendulum. Next door, Mr. Macy was more than pleased to show off his new digs.
Here we are in the great new Earth and Space Lab compared to the old room. The old room was kind of more like a broom closet, and it was a little bit on the dark side. It was very condensed and compact. Now, even though we're nice and snug, it's a lot more upbeat. It's bright. It's got everyone, not just the light. It's got the atmosphere. Everyone, all the kids are bright, ready to go, energetic, and they feel the change right from there.
The biology lab is also one of the 4 brand new rooms in the department, with an attention to detail for the furniture.
We now have workstations where students can put together their thoughts, move the furniture around, they can take notes, they can do lab experiments, all in the same work area.
Let's not forget the greenhouse attached to the biolab. This room was really cool. Literally, I could actually see my breath. Maybe it was from the snow from this endless winter blocking the skylight. In all seriousness, the room is very state-of-the-art, and the school has plans to use it for many future experiments.
We also redid our computer lab, so we have a larger computer room for our students in 7th and 8th grade to take class in. We're thrilled to have this as an extension of our high school. I'm very proud of the work here that everyone has done to put it in place, and we welcome anyone in the community to come by and come see us.
Reporting from the chemistry lab at Sacred Heart High School in Kingston, I'm Brian Sullivan, PACTV Community News.
Thanks for watching PCN, and we'll be back in 2016 with more stories from Duxbury, Kingston, Pembroke, and Plymouth.